Okay, 60 minutes slow flow. Let's start on our backs. Just to arrive, you can bring soles of the feet together or have the legs long or have the knees fall in against each other. And you can place the hands somewhere on your body where you feel it allows you a connection. The last year, even more than 1 year, I've been studying a lot in the realm of body-mind centering, in the realm of somatics and embodiment. And to describe embodiment is not an easy task. But it is a practice that starts with and has the goal of a deeper connection to that part of us that is our physical and energetic body. So by touching our own self, it is a start to connect to the boundary that demarks what is our self and what is beyond our self, the physical self. And by intuitively placing the hands, it's also a way to let the body lead rather than making a decision with your frontal lobe, with the brainstem that governs your thinking. It's something that we call intuition, intuitive placing. And that is something we unlearn over the course of our life because we are not taught that this has value. Today's class we will explore our body going upside down, inverted, into very gentle inversions. But it has the effect that we have to be more focused on the physical and energetic us. It is only possible to invert if you are fully there. To tap into a source of wisdom that is beyond that which is the brain and the thoughts. Set your intention for today's class. If it is something that resonates with what I'm telling you, or something completely different, doesn't matter. It's just something that you can peg your attention to, peg and dedicate your practice to. Breathe deep into your belly, holding the breath for just 1 second, and exhaling from the belly, from the ribs, from the chest. 1 more inhale into chest, ribs, belly, hold the breath, and exhale, sinking the belly in, letting the ribs come together, chest sinking. Yogic breathing to connect to a slower version of us. And then you can lengthen the legs out if you don't have them long yet. Lengthen the arms over the head. Take your time to bring them there so you can really reach them long, reach them towards the ceiling, and then bring them over your head to draw yourself long. Flex your feet and really push into those heels. Also flex the hands, so bringing the palms to push away from you, soles of the feet to push away from you. Lengthen and see whether you can draw the lower belly in, pull the pubic bone towards your navel to flatten into the lower belly, to keep that lower spine flat. And see whether you can push so much into your heels that your heels start to lift off the floor. And exhale, release everything, sink it to the ground, arms, feet, legs. One deep inhale into the belly. With the exhale, we go again. We lengthen and push into both directions. See whether you can move the shoulders away from the ears, but still keep pushing into the ball of your hand, into the finger mounts. Lift so much that your heels start lifting away from the floor, tucking the belly in. Bringing the chin to the chest, push into both directions like you want to push something away. And release everything. Then you can grab your right wrist with the left hand and we draw everything out to the left edges of the mat. So bring the left foot over, then let the right foot follow to come next to the left foot. Maybe you even cross the right ankle on top of the left. Bring both arms out to the left side and lengthen again. Same sensation that you've done before, that you push into both directions. And keep your right seat bone grounded. Or not seat bone, what is that called? That little bone at the bottom of your spine, right and left of your spine. Good. Use the left hand to pull the right arm longer, gripping around the right wrist. Nice. And inhale, bring everything into the middle. Exhale, second side, bring everything out to the right side for a banana shape, out to the right, opening the left side body, gripping the opposite wrist, maybe stacking left ankle on top of the right foot or right leg, and then lengthen, push into both heels, flex the feet, opening between those ribs on the left side. Good. And inhale, bring everything back into the middle. Nice. Bring both hands along the body, flip the palms to point down, and then bring one leg, then the second leg vertical to your upper body, flexing the feet again. Flexing them so much that you feel the tension in the back of your legs, especially in the calves. So you create this perfect vertical line between heels, hips, and the floor. This is an inversion as much as a shoulder stand is. And now see whether you can lift by just pulling the pubic bone towards the navel, lift the hips away from the floor. Just a tiny bit. It uses a lot of core strength. You can use the fingertips like little tents on the floor to help you balance. And exhale, release it back down. Inhale here. With the exhale, we go again. Draw the pubic bone into the navel. Your hips just lift the tiniest bit away from the floor. The tailbone lifts away from the floor. Bring the chin to the chest to keep the rest of the spine grounded. And release it down. Exhale, we go again. Lift, push the soles towards the ceiling. Bring the toes to the kneecaps and the kneecaps pull those towards your hips. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it down. Good. Keep the legs long. Bring the hands so you can support your lower back. We're going to go into a first shoulder stand. So hands behind the buttocks to prepare to support your hips as we now do the same again. So pull the pubic bone in towards the navel. The tailbone wraps under and pushes towards the sky. And we lift from there higher, roll the spine further, let your hands support to bring them just around your hip bones or a bit further in to support that shoulder stand. Make sure that your neck is free of weight so that your upper arms, your shoulders are holding the weight. Bring the elbows closer in together if you need to. Good. Glue those legs together. Reach into the tippy toes. The more you press the legs together, the easier it becomes to hold. Good. Nice. One more inhale. And with the exhale, we slowly unwind again. Bring the spine back down to the floor. Bring the knees into the chest and hug them in. Letting the tension fall off. And then we start to rock ourselves forth and back. So we can come into a seated position. Very nice. Good. From the seated position, we'll go onto the shins and rest on the heels here. If you need to bring a blanket between, you can do that, of course. Bring the arms out and up, like we've done just before lying down. Flip the palms so they point to the ceiling and really lengthen into those arms. So engage the lower arms. Think for once about all those muscles in your arms. We don't consciously think about those much. Create an internal rotation of those arms, meaning that the elbow of the eye of the elbow starts to pivot in and even backwards. Good. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. So instead of drawing them up like this, we just drop those down and consciously roll the shoulder blades together behind you. This makes your arms just shift back just the tiniest little bit, and it creates this engaged upper back. Good. Long arms. Inhale, and with the exhale, we push something away above our head. See whether you can still keep some freedom between shoulders and ears. So rather than pulling the shoulders all the way up, we're just lifting those shoulder blades. And inhale, release down. Exhale, we push something away. Push, push, push. Really flex those wrists. It's a nice stretch for the wrists as well. And inhale, release. One more. Lift up. You can even look up to the ceiling. Push something away, rolling shoulder blades continuously together so they're wandering towards each other. And release. Good. Bring the arms out wide to the side. Create space. Shoulder blades come together. Before exhale, right arm underneath the left and come into the arms. So palms come together. Good. Really push the arms together. Now rolling the shoulder blades away from each other. And hands away from the face, elbow away from the body. We inhale, arch the back. Exhale, bring the elbow into the belly button. Inhale, look up, let the shoulders broaden, the chest expand. Exhale, curl it all in, empty the body of air. Inhale, lift and arch. Move everything away from you, hands away, elbows away. Exhale, curl it in. One more inhale to lift, arch, cat pose, cow pose with the back. Exhale, cat. Good, and inhale, release, unwind the arms, unbind the bind, and shake it out. Make sure that in your seat, your knees are together, so don't let them fall open if your knees allow that. If you need something to relieve the knees, you can bring something underneath here to sit higher. Good. Let's go again. Arms out wide. Exhale. Left underneath the right this time. And opposite side. See whether your palms almost meet. Good. Inhale to lift first. Elbows away, hands away from the face. And then we arch. Send the hands over the face back to the end of the mat, and exhale, curl, coil it in. Really shift those shoulder blades apart. Inhale, lift everything away. Exhale, coil it in. Good. Moving with breath, letting that carry you through. Maybe something a bit uncomfortable, but the breath is always that anchor, that secure pathway to exploring the eternal, the embodied version of us. And exhale, last one, to coil it in, curl around, tuck the tailbone in. And inhale, come to the middle, unwind, unbind, shake it out. Good. And then from there, we'll just come into all fours. Good. Place the palms so that the fingers are spread wide. The eye of the elbow is drawing forward, so there's an external rotation of your arms. Good. And we lift into the shoulder blades. So let the shoulder blades move away from each other. The upper body, upper back is lifting high. Pivot our arms forward, the biceps forward, and exhale, we let the chest sink through and shoulder blades together. Good. Lower belly still draws in. This has nothing to do with the lower part of your upper body. It's just the shoulder blades, the scapula moving around your spine. Inhale to lift everything away. Exhale, draw them together. Really dig those fingertips and the mounds of your fingers, so where your fingers start, into the mat. And explore this sensation of warmth, of heat that comes from just a small movement of dipping your chest in and out of the space between you and the mat. Last two, lift shoulder blades away from each other, really push those hands away from each other. And exhale, draw everything in and down. Last one to lift. Good, and keep it lifted. Very nice. Lengthen the left leg out. Left foot comes down, right leg pivot out to the side, and left arm opens you up into the side plank on the knee. Good. Use the left arm to draw big circles, 3 in one direction, then we change sides. So draw it past, inhale, lift it up, exhale, forward and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward and down. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it down and change sides. Lift it up, forward, and exhale, draw it down. Keep that left sole grounded. Lift into the right shoulder. This is why we're doing this. We want to warmth in the shoulder to continue. Good. Very nice. And then keep the left arm lifted so you can lift your right knee away from the floor. Good. And send that right leg forward. And then we'll wrap it around the left leg. Bend into the left knee here. Once or twice, wrap it around. Good. Very nice. And exhale, unwind, unbind. Bring everything down to the mat. Right knee down. Keep the left leg long. And we'll just send that right leg out to the back as well, so we're in a high plank. Shift into those shoulder blades apart. Hips sink down. Shift the weight forward into the hands. And exhale back, knees down, second side. Right leg gets long, right sole plants down, left shin pivots out, and the right arm over the head. Good. 3 circles. Slowly with your breath, long. Really feel into that shoulder joint where your humerus, the bone in your upper arm, plucks into your shoulder. And then change sides. And with that big circle, how big the range of movement of this joint actually is. Can you bring your arm further back than you think you can? And the last one. Good. Keep your right arm high and lifted. Right sole is firmly planted. Lift the left knee away from the floor. Lift into the left shoulder. And left leg comes forward. Exhale, bend into the right knee and wrap that left leg around the right once or twice, doesn't matter. Keep the lift. Good. And exhale, bring everything down. Unwind the bind. Good. Right leg stays long. Bring the left knee down so you can rearrange. your palms, and then let your left leg get long for this high plank. Good. From this high plank, we just shift up into a downward dog. Let the hips rise high and paddle out the feet. Keep the focus on the shoulder. Keep that lift of the humerus out of the shoulder joint. So where it plugs into the shoulder joint, see if you can push it to the edge and lift it almost out of that joint. Good. Downward dog is also a kind of inversion. So we're inverting the blood flow, the prana flow. We're not actually inverting the blood flow, by the way. This is just probably more an analogy for your prana. But what inversions do is they enhance our venomous blood flow. Lift, and then lift onto your tippy toes. And keeping the arms long, we walk the feet forward one step at a time on the tippy toes. So we meet feet to the hand. Keep the hands grounded, bend into the knees if you need to. Framing the head, the ears with your both arms. And exhale, come down onto the heels. Beautiful. Fold it forward. You can hold on to the opposite elbow to relieve from the shoulders and just sway right and left. Good. Very nice. And inhale for a halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, draw the lower belly in. And exhale in Ardha Uttanasana, curl into the spine. You can bend the knees for this to happen. Round the gaze into the navel. Bending generously into the knees, letting the lower ribs almost rest onto the thighs. And then curl the spine up into standing position. Good. Arms come high. Flip the palms to point to the ceiling. And we just lift those shoulders away again. High, high, high. Good. And exhale, fold forward, plant the palms. Good. Very nice. From here, we'll just step the right foot back. Step it far back. Bring the right knee down. Good. And let the right hand take the weight. Left arm comes high for a simple twist here. Good. Draw the left knee in towards your chest. Very nice. And with the exhale, we lift the right knee away from the floor. And windmill the left arm high above the head for a high lunge, just so we can step the back foot a bit closer. Right heel comes down and arms come back into Garudasana. So bring the left arm underneath the right. Meet palms for warrior one. Good. Keep the bend in the front knee. Inhale to arch and exhale to fold it forward. Good. Very nice. Let the left shoulder come inside the left knee. And then we plant both hands down to the floor. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Good. And then from here we'll just sink all the way down to the floor, either via knees or without the knees. Long body, come all the way down to the mat. Good. Bring both hands behind the head. Interlace the hands here. And with the inhale, we lift the head away from the floor, lengthening into the front body. Push the back of the head into your hands. Elbows away from each other. Lift them broad. And exhale. Bring everything down. Frame the chest. Tuck both toes. And push it back into a downward facing dog. Good. In downward dog, we lift onto the tippy toes again. Tippy toe your feet forward. Until you have all the weight in your hands. Frame the ears with both hands like you're preparing for a handstand. But you're just shifting the weight into those hands, lifting the heels high. Shift the weight in and out of the hands. And then exhale. Fold forward, hold on to the opposite elbows. Sway. Coming back into the body if you have lost the connection. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale to curl into the spine, bend the knees, round generously, drawing the navel in. And inhale to roll it up into standing. Arms come high, lift into those shoulders. Good. And exhale, interlace the hands behind the back to counteract, to fold the chest forward. Finding that little bit of a back bend. Nice. And release the hands. Exhale, fold it forward. Good. Left foot steps back. Left knee comes down. Left hand takes the weight and the right arm comes high. Twist. Good. Sink the hips low. Draw the right knee in. And then tucking the back toes if you haven't already, and lift the left knee away from the floor. Look up to your right hand. Good. And then inhale, big circle back with the right arm. Lift it all up into a high lunge. Exhale, step the back foot closer. Good. This time, right arm underneath the left, I think. Not sure anymore which we've done the other side. Lift and arch into the back. Exhale, fold it forward for warrior two, warrior one, humble warrior, sorry. Let the neck relax, top of the head get heavy. Good. And exhale, release. Bring both hands inside the right foot. Hand step the left foot to meet the left hand to come into Malasana Yogi Squat. Bring the palms together at the heart. So you can lift the spine high or long, chest high. Good. And then release the elbows and bring the arms up high over the head. Good. And exhale, bring the hands forward, rounding into the spine so that you can hold on to the mat almost with the fingertips, rounding it generously. Good. And then just sit back onto your buttocks. Very nice. Inhale, we bring the arms past the knees, one leg up, second leg into Navasana. Good. And then from here, we'll roll back into a shoulder stand and then plow pose. So we'll do this slowly first. Roll back, bring the legs high, support with the hands. And then let the knees, let the feet come behind you. Plow pose. Exactly. You can frame the ears with your knees if you can. And then from here we'll go back into our Navasana. So just let this roll out and catch yourself in boat pose. Yes, good stuff. Fantastic. Let's do this again. We'll roll back straight into a plow pose. Exhale, Navasana, catch it. Good, and we'll go again. Exhale, plow pose. Frame the ears if you can. Inhale here. And with the exhale, we roll back and we'll come into Malasana. So you need a bit of momentum so you can come back onto your feet. I have very little space here, so careful. Come back onto your feet in Malasana. Good. Hi, buddy. We'll do this one more time. Exhale to roll back, Navasana, into plow pose. Inhale here. And exhale. And roll it back into Malasana. Good. Very nice. And then from here, we'll just lift the hips up into forward fold, Uttanasana. Go. You can hold on to the opposite elbows. And then inhale, halfway lift. Roll the spine, tuck the tailbone in, roll the spine up into standing pose. Arms lift high. Exhale, hands interlace behind the back, chest forward. Nice. And then release the hands, bring them back up and just fold forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Very nice. Good. Step the right foot back into a low lunge. Right knee comes down. Good. And then from here, we'll just drag that right knee forward to come behind the left foot or outside the left foot. So we can sit down just next to our right foot. Arms high. Exhale, twist. Hug it in. Good. Yes, inhale to lift the sternum high. Lengthen the back. Exhale to twist deeper. Good, and inhale back, unwind, look forward, frame the left foot with both hands. We'll shift back out into our low lunge, so lift onto the right shin, send that right knee back into the low lunge. Good. And then from here, we'll tuck the toes. Yes. Tuck the toes, and we lift up high into high lunge. Exhale, step the back foot closer, both arms into Garudasana, left arm underneath the right, lift, exhale, fold into humble warrior. Good. Then from here, unwind and pivot the right heel inward so that now when you come up, you'll be right in goddess pose. Good. Bring the arms high. Exhale, right arm in front of your hip, reaching for the left hip bone. Left arm over the head for a side opening. Sink the hips low. Ground into both feet. And inhale. Release, both arms high. Exhale, second side. Left hand reaches for the right hip. Right arm over the head. Sink down. Good. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, switch sides. Right hand, left hip bone. Inhale, switch sides. Big circles with both arms. Reaching. Use the grip on the right hip bone here to really draw yourself deeper. Inhale, lift up. Both arms high. Good. And exhale, lengthen both legs out, fold forward into Prasarita Padottanasana. Good. See whether you can work your top of the head down towards the mat. Planting the hands in line with the feet so that your top of the head and both hands formulate a triangle. If you need to widen the stance so the top of the head can come down, you can do that, or you can bring a block. We're not going anywhere from here. We'll just imagine or we'll prep for an inversion. So the top of the head is down. See whether you can send some weight into that head. Just shifting the weight forward into the tippy toes. Draw the elbows in towards each other. And exhale, come back out with the weight back into the heels. Good, and inhale, halfway lift, good. Walk both hands over to the right foot. Pivot the left foot in, right foot forward. Right hand to the ankle and left arm comes high for a really wide Trikonasana. Right hand has almost no weight. Good. Very nice. Lift. Draw the right seat bone in, the right buttocks in, left hip shifts back. Good. And then with the inhale, we bring both arms up. Lengthen, twisting both hips forward. Step the back foot a bit closer so that now you can fold into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Good. Inhale to lift halfway out. Exhale to fold. If you can balance, bring both hands behind the head, interlace the hands there. And inhale, lift the back of the head into those hands. Pivoting the left hip bone forward. Exhale, fold it in. If the balance is hard, bring both feet onto two different tracks. Inhale to lift the head into the hands. Exhale, fold it in. Good. And then bring the hands right and left of the front foot. Bring the left knee down. Good. Inhale up for a low lunge. Both hands again behind the head. Lean into those hands. Good. And exhale, both hands inside the front foot. Step the left foot to meet the left hand for again our Malasana Yogi squat. Elbows to the knees. Good. Palms together. Use the pressure between the palms to lift you high. Good. And inhale, arms over the head. Draw them up. Look forward. Nice. Exhale. Bring them down. And in front of you to round into the spine. Good. And then we'll revert the flow. So inhale to lift the chest back up high. Send the right foot back. Bring the right knee down. Inhale up for a low lunge. Hands behind the head. Lean in. And exhale, hands frame the front foot. Lengthen the front leg, step the back foot a bit closer so you can come into our Trikonasana, our pyramid pose. Right hip bone pivots forward, left one back, hands behind the head. Inhale, lift into those hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift into the hands. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, lift once more. And exhale, fold. Good. Very nice. Inhale, come all the way up with the arms. Good. And exhale, open the arms up. Left hand to the ankle, right arm high for Trikonasana. Good. Really pivot the left ribs underneath. Very good. And then inhale, both arms up. Bring a bend into that front knee. Left arm underneath the right. Open the chest. Exhale, fold it in for humble warrior. The left side. I feel like we mixed up the sides. If you're on the other side, do the other side. Good. And then pivot the right foot in. Oh yeah, I think we've done the other side before. Anyway, pivot the right foot in, release the arms and just come up so we land in our goddess pose. Good. We'll bring the left hand to the right, hip bone, right arm over the head to open. Draw the pubic bone in. Inhale, change sides. Right hand to the left. Sink down. Big circle with the hands, with the arms to change sides again. Exhale, last one. Good. And inhale, both arms up, lengthen the legs, pivot the feet so the toes are pointing a bit more inward than the heels. Hands to the hips and fold it forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Good. We'll play again with the same inversion. So bring the hands in line with the feet. Widen the stance if needed, so your top of the head is touching the mat. Or bringing a block if that's too far away, so your head can rest on the block. Palms are grounded firmly. Draw the elbows in towards each other. And just shift the weight into the head, into the tippy toes. Inhale back into the heels. Exhale, lean it in. Almost like you want to take off. Make sure that you draw the belly button, the navel into the spine, really hollowing that front body. That creates a lift in your hips. Good. Not too much weight in the head, always careful. And exhale, come out. Good. Very nice. And then just walk the feet, the hands to the right foot. I think actually the left for you, sorry. So at the top of the mat. I changed sides so you can see. So the foot on the top of the mat and pivot both feet forward. Very nice. And step the right foot back to come into plank. Good. Bring both knees down to the mat and both forearms down to the mat. Good. So you're in all fours on your forearms. Again, here, make sure that your front body doesn't collapse forward. We want to bring that small amount of tension. It's not that we want to enforce an alignment that's unnatural, but this just creates this center of power from where we can then work into inversions, work through other stuff, not on the mat. Good. Bring the hands together. Actually, yeah, interlace the hands so the pinky fingers are stacking. Good. Tuck the toes and lift the hips up high. Walk the feet in so you come into a dolphin, another inversion. Really make sure that the elbows don't slide away from you, so they stay nice and tight together. Lift into those shoulders again. Lift into a line from elbows to shoulders to hips. Hollowing the belly. Chest sinks through but is strong. Very good. One more inhale here, lift more. And exhale, bring the knees down to the mat. And lengthen one leg out, second leg out to bring the hips down. Unleash, unwind, unbind the hands. So you come into a Sphinx pose. Are counteracting the coiling, the curling. Spin the chest forward, elbows down and towards the hips. Good. Very nice. And inhale to come back into a neutral position with your spine. Good. Tuck the toes of the right foot. Bring the right arm a bit inwards so you can have more of a surface here that you can rest on. And then pivot onto your right hip. Good. Bring the left hand in front of your chest approximately, so that now you can lift the hips away from the floor. Maybe the left hand can come away for a side plank on your forearm. Good. Draw the belly in, arm high or over your head. Good. Nice, and exhale from here, just bring the hips down. Good. Left hand back down and bring the right arm onto the mat so you can support your head here with the right hand. Good, and then we'll bend into the left knee. Grab a hold of the left big toe with index and middle finger. And now there's some balancing involved here. So if you need to bend the right knee, this will help you to have a bit more surface to balance on. You can try first with the knee bent and lengthen out the left leg. If you can balance this easy, see if you can lengthen out that right leg. Good. It's not all easy. Keep the tension in the core here. Good. Draw that leg in. Keep the length. If there's a bend in the knee, that's fine too, but still keep kicking that heel away. And exhale, release the left foot. Let it float back to meet the right. Good, and we'll just pivot back onto our forearms for a Sphinx pose. To realign together. Chest forward. Good. Second side, left arm pivots in a bit. Good. Keep the left toes tucked. And we pivot out onto the left hip here. Good. From here, right hand in front of you, lift the left hips away from the floor. If the right hand can float away, bring it high over the head. Good. Draw the belly in, the pubic bone in, tailbone tucks towards the heels. And exhale, bring the hips down. Right hand down so you can support while you come onto the left upper arm to support your head here. Good. Find that center of gravity at the core where you can balance from. And then we bend into the right knee. Grab a hold of the right big toe. And lengthen that leg out. Good. Kick the heel high. Bend the left knee if you need to for more balance. Kick the right heel away. Kick it away. Good. Open into those hips. And then exhale, slowly release. Let that right leg float back down. Come back onto the forearms. Good. Very nice. We bring the hands back together. Interlace the fingers. Actually, release the hands. Make sure that your elbows are not further apart than what you can grasp with the opposite hand. This is a very rough measurement, but it shouldn't be too bad for a headstand or an approach to headstand. Bring the hands down. Make sure that your fingers are stacked. The little fingers are stacked, not crossed. And then we'll come back onto our knees. Good. Shift the arms out so you're at the very edge of flesh and skin. And then just plant the top of the head into your hands. The base of the thumb is just holding your head there, cradling it in. We don't have to go into full headstand, which is a misnomer, by the way. It should be called forearm stand, but forearm stand is something else. But the weight should not be on your head at all times. So we can just play around with shifting the weight again, like we've done in tripod before. So you can just lift the knees away from the mat now. And see how that increases the weight into your forearms. Already here, see that you can lift into those shoulders like we've practiced all through class. So lift like you want to push something away. And it will create that little bit of a lift of your head away from the floor. Draw the belly button in, rounding and walking the feet closer. Until you can feel the stacking of the hips. on top of your shoulders. It's that point where your feet are almost lifting away from the floor. And then walk the feet back out. Come back onto the knees. You can even sit back onto the heels for a child's pose for a moment. You can keep the hands interlaced, but resting for a moment. Good, and we'll try again. We'll go again. So lift back up onto the forearms. Make sure you still have that measurement, the shifting of the lower arms. And then bring the top of the head down. Good. Tuck the toes. And prepare to take the weight into the forearms. Feel the shoulders activating. Lift the humerus out of the shoulder joint and walk the feet in. And now, if you want, you feel ready. And if you want to do this at a wall, by the way, do it by a wall. You can bring one knee in. Keep that left, or whichever foot you're drawing in, keep it close to the buttocks. If you can, bring the second one and just hold this little package here. See if you can float in this. Only when you're comfortable holding here, you can lengthen out one leg. See if you can balance that. Lengthen out the second leg. If you are there, glue the legs together. Draw the pubic bone in. Tailbone goes towards the heels. And come out the same way. One knee in. Second knee in. And like a feather, float those feet, toes back to the floor, knees down. Child's pose. Good. And take child's pose. Just let everything fall off. Release the hands. And just let yourself melt, release into the mat. Now that you're back into a physically relaxing pose, see if you can trace what your mind does as it is in a relaxed body. And see how much you were focused on breath, on body, on muscles, on your body speaking to you before, just seconds ago, as you were inverting your being. And then inhale, just roll the spine up. Let the hands trace over the thighs. Good, and just slide down, bring the feet forward. Good. Very nice. Bring the soles of the feet together and just hug the feet with both hands and roll forehead towards the feet, drawing the elbows in towards each other. Chin into the chest. Letting this all trickle off, all this adventure of inverting on a Friday evening. Good. And then from here, let go of the feet and just round. Keep the spine round and just start to roll back onto the mat from here. See if you can do this without the feet leaving the mat. You have to move the feet further away from you maybe to give this more, to make this more easy. If they're close, it's harder. If they're a bit further away, it gets easier as we roll down here. Good. Very nice. Bring the arms out 45 degrees, right and left to your body. And let the right knee join to the left. Open the right knee again, let the left knee join to the right. Inhale to open again. Exhale, right knee joins the left. Keep the feet connected at all times. Chin to the chest. The rest of the body is relaxed and heavy. One more each side. Right knee joins the left. Inhale, left knee joins the right. And then just open both knees. Good. Very nice. From here, lengthen the legs out. We'll just come into a fish pose as one of the last poses tonight. So see that you can bring the hands together behind your back like so. So the thumbs meeting. So bring them right and left of your hips. Lift onto the elbows to lift your upper body up. Oh, sorry, to lift your hips up. Planting the hands underneath. Then lift the upper body up, walking elbows in towards each other. Good. And let the head draw back. Open into the chest. Let the top of the head come towards or even onto the mat. Good. Lengthen into the feet, tippy toes are long. Okay. And then from there you can slowly come back out. Maneuver yourself away from the elbows. And bring the body down to the mat. If there's any last movement or any last shape, any last stretching, elongation, release you need, let that come and let it just come to you from inside out without thinking about it. Happy baby or just full relaxation if you're already there. I invite you again to, if you want this, to bring your hands on your body wherever they feel drawn to. The study of somatics is closely intertwined with the study of embryology and how when children are born, the touch of skin on skin, of body to body, and their own touch of themselves are crucial development steps that lets the discovery of I and self begin. If you would like to stay longer in Shavasana, please stay there. If you feel ready and you want to, you can start to let some movement emerge. And come back to a seated position. Beautiful. Just bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Inhale deeply, connecting once more to that deep belly breath. Speak your own grace and gratitude for these teachings of yoga that we get to share. Bring your hands to your throat to connect to the space of exploration of the self. And your hands to your forehead to bow and pray for peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be peace. Jai Ma.